All right. So we should be live on everything. We should be.
All right, just tell me when.
I'm looking at my own Facebook and I'm not here. Pick something that you. Oh, yeah, there I am. Pick something that you want to monitor. Well, no, you can't call me and listen. That means I gotta pick something to monitor. Uh, Whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready. Okay, let's give it a shot. Okay, let's give it a shot. I know, well, I'm trying to listen. Okay, let's give it a shot. What can I listen to? That's not going to echo. I'll tell you what, YouTube. Let me try YouTube. Stay right there. All right, go ahead. All right, go ahead. And went wacky on the screen, too. It went wacky on the screen, too. We got 2 minutes.
She can't call. She's on with her dad. I'm sorry. So.
Right. I don't think it worked anyway.
Yeah.
For whatever that's worth.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
I wonder, no, that shouldn't matter. That's the wrong thing. Wait, did I close it? Did I close it? No, it was right there. So we're on it still. No, I'm the only one on it. That shouldn't matter. That shouldn't matter. More. Live stream. Custom streaming service. It's still connected to Restream.
Okay.
I think. Yeah. I took the link out and it's still connected to Restream.
Because your profile is, probably still there.
Wow. That's not good. I gotta find this. Because now I'm here twice, I think. Yeah, powered by Restream. That's really strange. Oh well, it's 8
no. Well, was it when you did the link? Like when you put the
I
link
removed
into
the link.
Restream?
Yeah, but
No. But when you did the link, it said powered by Restream. That's why you're still on Restream. Like you took the Restream link and put it into Streamlab.
No, I didn't. I put the
put the
Streamlab link into Zoom, and I put the Zoom link into Streamlab.
Okay.
It's definitely not the same streams. All right, let's get after it.
All right.
I got the wrong screen up. Actually, let me just get out of this first, because that's clearly not helping us. Oh, it could be a long night. Where am I now? There we go.
Kennedy, 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 Kennedy.
Do you want a man for president who's seasoned through and through, but not so doggone seasoned that he won't try something new? A man who's old enough to know
and young enough to do.
Well, it's up to you, it's up to you. It's strictly up to you.
But it's Kennedy, 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 for me. Kennedy, 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 Kennedy.
Do you want a man with spirit who is not afraid to fight?
A man whose record shows that he will fight for what is right.
A loyal man who'll bring the job a fresh new point of view. Well, it's up to you, it's up to you. It's strictly up to you.
Cause it's Kennedy, 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 for me. Kennedy, 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 Kennedy.
And do you deny to any man the right he's guaranteed to be elected president, no matter what his creed?
It's promised in the Bill of Rights to which we must be true.
So it's up to you, it's up to you. It's strictly up to you.
And it's Kennedy, 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 for me. Kennedy, 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 Kennedy.
Do you like a man who answers straight, a man who's always fair? We'll measure him against the others, and when you compare, you'll cast your vote for Kennedy and a change that's overdue. So it's up to you, it's up to you, it's strictly up to you.
Yes, it's Kennedy, 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 for me. Kennedy, 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 Kennedy,
Oh, hello, welcome from my humble second bedroom here in the Saucon Valley, part of the Lehigh Valley, in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, part of these United States, North American continent, Western Hemisphere, on this planet Earth, the only one we have. Third arc from the sun in the Terran solar system. This is the Kennedy Effect, TKE tonight for the 3rd of July. Isn't that terrible? I had to think about that. For the 3rd of July, 2024. We are thrilled to be back with you once again and to have you with us. We appreciate you being here on night 3 of GCPR radio. And let me just say that it's great to be back. We're finding our groove a bit here. Things are getting a bit better. Let's say that. And we're just happy to be part of your day. We appreciate that you are here. As you can probably tell, I'm still doing some sharing. I'm a little surprised. There we go. I knew I was going to get blocked at some point. How far did we make it? Let's see. 99. That's a little low. Usually we get a little further than that. 99 tonight. Not sure what's up with that. But it is what it is. I think I forgot to do something that I usually normally do. No, I did do it. It's just very low in the background. I don't hear it, so we don't like that. We like to turn up our background noise. It helps me. So welcome to night 3 of GCPR Radio. Among the things I would like to ask you to do tonight, not exactly homework necessarily, but wherever that you're watching us, say hello, let us know where you're taking the program in, and please let us know, if you wouldn't mind, if you have listened. Are you listening to GCPR? What have you listened to? What do you think so far? Keeping in mind that it is premiere week. This is only day 3. And there's a lot of work to be done yet. George took an awful lot of time today trying to get some more of the tech sorted out, and the tech just simply wouldn't agree. We were on before we, technically speaking, started the program because we were trying to work out the phones. That didn't work. So we continue to try to get this done for you and to get, the full, the full experience, maybe that's the right word. I'm not sure. You'll tell that you can see that we have a little bit of a background. We played with that last night. That's hopefully attractive and doesn't look so bad. We can play with those a little bit, and you could pick one if you want. Not a bad. I think it's design. I think. Yep. I mean, we could play with it. If something tickles your fancy. I thought that was kind of cute. Green plants, not a bad idea. And of course, we have a Ukrainian flag. Never a bad idea. We just decided last night. There's a couple even of like town scenes here, but they're wintry. We're clearly not in winter. So we just went with blue last night, and we could even go dark blue. So we were doing that, which seems kind of silly, but hey, if it enhances the experience, it's all worth it. I just would like to say hello again. This is Jeff Kennedy. You're listening to TKE Tonight, the Kennedy Effect, live with you for the 3rd of July. We're here until 9, or maybe a tad bit after. We thank you for being here. We have shared the program to 100 places on Facebook. Come on over to That Other Side of Information. No, it's not. It's actually my personal Facebook, I think, where I'm going to see the comments. George is here. Always a better program when he is. And so let's get after it. So we tried the phones, and like I said, just not happening. Everybody saying hello to each other in the chat. Awesome. Donna says hello from Southeast Missouri. My 3rd night here, and I usually watch The Villain's View on Sunday nights. Awesome. Hope you are all checking out GCPR Live, GCPR Radio, Ghost Claw Productions Radio. If you need the link, we can put that. We'll drop that somewhere in this. Actually, I can do it. Look at me. www.gcpr.live. Check that out. I think. Oh, there it goes. Lovely. You should be able to see that now. So check us out. It's not just me on here either. You have Thomas McCormick in the mornings with The Sound of Coffee. You have Cold Dead Hands, which is a remarkable piece of programming. Let me just be blunt with you. It's a remarkable piece of programming. Among the leading, quite arguably the leading expert on gun violence in this country, hosting a program about guns and gun violence. You need to check it out. T. Nathan follows us at 11 p.m., so there will be a bit of a gap, but that's okay. Take a walk, walk the dog, get a sweet, get a couple of cookies and milk, whatever it is you need to do after we're done here with you, T. Nathan, from 11 p.m. Let's get into it's going to be the story of the week. Let us just be blunt. And that is, of course, the immunity decision that came from the Supreme Corporation. And an interesting twist happened today, and I kept the article up. Well, that would be the wrong place to open. I would read the article if I went to the right place. It's been a rough day, folks. I don't ever want anybody to feel sorry for me. These are white guy problems, right? These are former middle class working. I wouldn't call Kristen and us a working poor, but we're damn close to it. And so these are not the same kind of problems that other folks are having. That a single mother, regardless, white, woman of color, older, younger, doesn't matter, are not having the problem. We are not having the problems they are, right? A veteran suffering from PTSD or emotional distress, I'm not having the problems they're having, right? So we're in much better shape. Let us be blunt. But I have to admit, gosh, I'm tired. I'm really tired. So so I got timed out. There's a Daily Beast article that I'm hoping, they're going to block it on me now, even though I had it up all day. From the Daily Beast. Yep, they're going to block it now, I think. It's written by Dan Ladden Hall. If you can find it, please feel free. And in the article, what it says, and of course, I'm going to have to find it in another source now because the Daily Beast is blocking me. These, I'll tell you what, these sites, it's like they don't want you to use them. They want you to go there and click on things, but we're not going to let you click on anything. It's really quite remarkable. It really, really is. So I'm hoping that the Associated Press will have covered this as well. Yep, there he is. Okay. From the Associated Press, I think this is the big story of the day. You may not agree. And guess what? It's okay if you don't, right? I'm not here to tell you what to think. I'm simply asking you to think. And I think this is a direct result of the decision Monday. In fact, I could make an argument that what I'm about to read to you is the cause for the Supreme Corporation as well as a result of it. It's very odd how cyclical these things can be. That said, let me take you to the article. Let me take you to the article from the Associated Press, written today by Ali Swenson. She is the author, although he could be the author. Ali could go either way, right? So I guess I shouldn't guess. But the author of the article is Ali Swenson. This is from the Associated Press. We have to always give credit to the sources that we go to. Bylines are election, search terms are election 2024 and Washington News. The headline, a conservative leading pro-Trump Project 2025 suggests there will be a new American revolution. The leader of a conservative think tank orchestrating plans for a massive overhaul of the federal government in the event of a Republican presidential win, said that the country is in the midst of a second American revolution, and that it will be bloodless if the left allows it to be. Heritage Foundation President Kevin Roberts made the comments Tuesday on Steve Bannon's War Room podcast, which of course now has a new host because Bannon is in prison where he belongs, adding that Republicans are, quote, in the process of taking this country back. That's just the first two paragraphs of the news story. And right there, I am honor bound, not just intellectually bound, and not just because everything that Mr. Roberts said is complete bullshit, but I'm honor bound to ask some questions. So here they are. American Revolution from what? What does Mr. Roberts think that this so-called Second American Revolution is being fought from? What are we fighting to free ourselves from? And who's fighting, by the way? I had some... I'm loath to arbitrarily point people out. And I certainly don't want to give them any fame. But someone was dumb enough today on our Facebook group, That Other Side of Information, to ask if January 6th, or to make the statement really, that January 6th looked an awful lot like the 4th of July. January 6th was a coup attempt. And by the way, you know what you call a coup attempt? Practice. You call it practice. It's also what you call a failed coup. Practice. Revolution was fought to bring the American colonies out from under one-man rule, out from under a kingship, out from under what we would call in modern times a dictatorship. Even though England had a parliament at that point, the king was still the strongman leader. He appointed the governors, he directed the military. The king was still in charge. And founders and framers, farmers, blacksmiths, horsemen from across the colonies decided they wanted self-determination over themselves. They didn't want all of their money and their raw materials going to England just so they had to buy it back. The Heritage Foundation and the dolt that was dumb enough to make that comment on one of my posts, they know full well. I think we need to come to a group realization that these are not stupid people. Many of the Trump cult followers are not exactly the sharpest tools in the shed, or else they would not have been so easily drawn into this cult in the first place. But many, many, many of them as well are not stupid people. They know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly what they're lying about and how they are lying. They know. So when this completely misguided individual says to me that January 6th looked a lot like July 4th, January 6th was an attempt to install a king, to install a dictator, to reinstate one-man rule, something that we had not had on this side of the Atlantic since before the American Revolution. Now, Mr. Roberts knows exactly what he's talking about. He knows exactly what he's saying. He's tapping in to the ignorance of people who don't know the difference between January 6th and July 4th, but he's also tapping into the ones that do. July 4th, Independence Day, freedom from a king and a dictator. At the same time that Mr. Roberts is doing everything he can to install exactly that over you. Right? We all think of July 4th as Independence Day. We rose up. We declared ourselves one nation, independent from our colonial masters. And yet at the same time, the Heritage Foundation, the Koch network, tools like Mr. Roberts are doing is trying to reestablish exactly that. And why are they doing this? And this is where I think I differentiate myself, and not purposefully, it just happens to be my belief of it, what I believe to be an educated belief of it, grounded in facts and history. Here's where I think I differ from some other, potentially differ from some other progressive hosts, even the real big ones who are way bigger than me. The ultimate goal of all this is not racism. It's not subjugation. It's not turning women back into June Cleaver. It's simply money. It's money. Mr. Roberts is getting rich off the paychecks of the Koch network. The Kochs fund the Heritage Foundation. They created the Heritage Foundation. I would bet if you put a couple of drinks into Mr. Roberts, he might even tell you that he doesn't even believe any of this. But he's getting rich from it. And what do the Kochs really want? More money. What does Elon Musk want? More money. What does Jeff Bezos want? More money. So I'll have people come to me and say, well, this has to be about power, right? Yeah, I suppose. The power to get more money. I've told you for months on the Sunday program, and I'm not the first person to say this, and I certainly haven't. Broken any news with this particular phrase, but the billionaire class in this country. First off, let's think about that. There wasn't a billionaire in this country until I believe the early 70s. And that might sound like a really long time ago, but we went 200 years in this country before anybody hit the billionaire status. There are now, I think, about 2,400 billionaires just in the United States. I think there's roughly 4,000 worldwide. Perhaps George will have time to Google that for me really quick. I think I'm right on that. And if I'm wrong, I'll tell you. I always do. In fact, during the pandemic, when the world economy was closed, somehow human beings managed to create about 600 more billionaires. A few of them right here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I mentioned this to you last night, and I happen to believe that it's still true. I don't think Charles Koch gives a flying you-know-what if women have abortions. I don't think he cares if gay people get married. I don't think he cares if trans kids play sports. But what he knows is that such issues animate people, and it gets them to vote. And it gets them to vote against their own self-interest. So when Mr. Roberts talks about a second American Revolution, From what? What are we supposedly fighting a second American Revolution for freedom from what? The only thing that I think Mr. Roberts can say with any truth, or any of us can say with any truth, is that if we were fighting for freedom from something, it would be from freedom itself. Mr. Roberts is not interested in democracy. He wants Trump to be a king, to be a dictator, and the oligarchs to be the Congress. It is Mussolini's own definition of fascism. The merger of corporate and state interests. It's fascism. It's Mussolini's own words. He originally called it corporatism, except that people figured that out pretty quick. And they weren't so high on that particular they weren't so fond of that particular description of things. That was easy to figure out. If it was called corporatism, it meant that it was for corporations and not for people. But so I think George did this for me. I'm trying to find wrong mouse, Jeff. I'm trying to find. I think George. Oh, that's an awful low number. As of 2012, but that's a very low number. So George sent me a behind-the-scenes sort of chat here. I'll let you in on it. He often does. He sends me facts this way. A list of the U.S. states and federal district by number of billionaires. There's 756 billionaires living in the United States. As of 2024, there are billionaires in 47 of 50 states. There are 2,781 billionaires on Earth. I actually think that's low. I think it's more like 4,000. And I thought there was about 2,400 here in the States. But he just Googled it for me, as I asked. So I will go with that until I see differently. But it sounds very low to me. It sounds really low to me. So this decision on Monday to make Trump a dictator and to give blanket immunity to a president is not about freedom. It's not about a second American Revolution. It's not about conservatism. It's not about any Republican ideal. I thought Republicans were the small government party. I thought they were the party that government closest to you is the best way to get things done. Local, county, and state governments. Instead, the entire party has turned itself over into empowering one man who is a psychopath to be a dictator of this country. Folks, this is not hyperbole. I'm not the only one to say it. I'm not even close. I'm not breaking any real ground here. I might be using words and choosing phrases that are different than perhaps you've heard before, but it's not about any of that. It's not about me being smarter than you or any of it. You just have to look at what's happening. So when you look at January 6th, you have Trump has created a private army. You have, it's interesting, it was Mike who tried to call us on Monday. Very kind of him to try to call us. My continuing apologies that we have not been able to work this phone thing out. And by the way, the help center at Streamlabs has been useless so far. That said, Mike says, yes, they are stupid people. That's what a cult is. They are cunningly evil, and that's what takes some smarts. So even you are contradicting yourself to a point, even though I know exactly what the point that you're trying to make. There is a level of stupidity to it, but you also have to be terribly cunning and smart and really look at the long game. This is a game that Republicans have been playing probably since the late 1800s. Teddy Roosevelt ran as a Republican, served the presidency as a Republican. It was nothing of the sort. He broke up big corporations. He tried to put banking laws into place. He raised taxes. He did big spending programs like building railroads and expanding railroads. He created the first national parks and then dramatically expanded them throughout his presidency. He was the first progressive. But Republicans have always been the party of the rich and the big corporations, because that's where they get their money. They hated the New Deal because the New Deal saved, even though the New Deal saved the world economy, they hated it and wanted to kill it. And finally, when Reagan came to power, he killed it. I remember he ran on that, said it openly, in public, in interviews. Why, Mr. Reagan, are you running for president? To kill what's left of the New Deal. And he did. So ever since the Republican Great Depression, Republicans have been working to make you forget the Republican Great Depression. And the New Deal, in its own way, was a reminder of the Republican Great Depression. A reminder that it was Democrats that took you out of it and literally saved the world economy. So I continue to maintain that I truly don't think that a lot of these people really give a shit about whether same-sex couples get married, whether a trans kid swims. I don't think they care. But they do know that by cobbling together this ridiculous set of people, your Second Amendment gun fetishists, the Christian nationalists, the white Christian nationalists, the white men who want their wives back in the kitchen, among others, that they've cobbled together this ridiculous conglomeration of people, financing them all the way through, convincing them that what's good for the billionaires is good for them. And here they are. They have not completely destroyed democracy yet. That decision won't be made until around midnight, 11 p.m. or midnight on November 5th. Now, many years ago on Tom Hartman's program, President Carter himself said, and the odd thing is I think Tom's question was something about, do you fear for American democracy in a post-Citizens United world? Something to that effect. I'm sure I'm not quoting it perfectly. I never do. But President Carter's response, and you can find this on YouTube, and actually the streaming platform that we're using allows me to pull up video clips, and I should find it one of these days. And President Carter responds to him in saying, I don't think we are a democracy anymore. We're an oligarchy. Where a very small handful of the richest people in the country run the country because Citizens United legalized bribery. And on Monday, the Supreme Court legalized fascism. They paved the way to dictatorship. Imagine being one of the people who stormed the Capitol on January 6th and given the sweeping immunity that has been granted to the presidency if Joe Biden was to have Donald Trump arrested and jailed without writ of habeas corpus. Just, it's an official act. My official act is to have him arrested and put in jail. Can you imagine the outrage in this country? And there'd be outrage from Democrats too, by the way. Can you imagine? Except that he's too decent of a man to use the power that's been given to him by this court because he doesn't agree with it. So for him to use it would be hypocritical. Even though I think possibly he should do exactly that. Oh, Supreme Court said you can't wipe out student debt? Well, official action. Official presidential action. I'm wiping out all student debt. All of it. I'm wiping out all medical debt. Official action. He won't, because he's too good of a man. He's too truly decent at heart. Whether you agree with everything that he does is a whole different story. But he's too good at heart. He won't do that. But maybe he should. Maybe the people who think that the impending dictatorship that the Supreme Corporation has laid at our doorsteps is a good thing, maybe they should see what they're in for. And maybe Joe Biden should show it to them. So I don't think Mr. Roberts gives a crap about some of these things. He just wants to get rich. And he likes power. Dictators always do. Vladimir Putin is worth more money than can be calculated. He might very well be the richest man on earth. All of his fortune can't be traced. He takes money from the oligarchs that he gave the Russian economy to. He takes oil money. Just skims right off the top. He might be the literal richest man on earth. Like, literally. But his wealth can't be traced or calculated. Saudi royal family's complete wealth can't really be traced or calculated. The Emiratis, the Yemenis, the Qataris, all the Middle East oil producing nations, and the ruling families that control it. Their wealth can't completely be traced. It is that vast and that spread out. No wonder they want to control everything, because they want to maintain that power. Let me read on a little bit. Roberts' remarks shed light on how a group that promises to have significant influence over a possible second term for former President Donald Trump is thinking about this moment in American politics. The Heritage Foundation is spearheading, easy for me to say, is spearheading Project 2025, a sweeping roadmap for a new GOP administration that includes plans for dismantling aspects of the federal government and ousting thousands, I would say tens of thousands, of civil servants in favor of Trump loyalists who will carry out a hard right agenda without complaint. His call for revolution and vague reference to violence also unnerved some Democrats who interpreted it as threatening. No kidding. You think it was threatening? Really? Wow, some Democrats thought that was threatening? Good for you. Thanks for having a pulse. I'm torn by this too, folks, because there is a part of me that would like to see President Biden use this sweeping new immunity to save democracy before Trump can destroy it. At the same time, a different part of me, I think probably much like President Biden himself, I'm certainly not in his head. Him and I do not talk. I'm not on the payroll as an advisor, although I'm open to it. But I suspect that he's had these discussions with a very super tight circle of people and probably had the argument in his own head. They want to give me sweeping immunity, I'll use it. And another part of him saying, it's not right. It's not the right thing to do. So, I don't know. I mean, keep seeing things are flashing all over me. James Singer is a spokesperson for President Joe Biden in his re-election campaign. He pointed to this week's 4th of July holiday in an emailed statement from the campaign. Quote, 248 years ago tomorrow being July 4th, America declared independence from a tyrannical king. And now Donald Trump and his allies want to make him one at our expense. Adding that Trump and his allies are, quote, dreaming of a violent revolution to destroy the very idea of America. I'm not sure I could put it much better. To think that they would use the very idea of a war for independence from a tyrant as justification to install a tyrant is not just hypocritical. It takes you, the American public, all of you, left, right, and center, white, black, Hispanic, AAPI, young, old, retired, working, veteran, non-veteran. It takes all of you for absolute effing idiots. This idea from the Heritage Foundation and from Project 2025 that this is somehow some kind of goddamn revolution takes you for fools. And hey, about 40% of the population's buying it. But 60-40, there's still more of us. We know better. But how many more times does this fascist segment of our country have to tell us exactly what they want to do? This is not dystopian. This is not science fiction. If Trump wins and Republicans take the Congress, we will start seeing people arrested. You'll see Anthony Fauci arrested. You'll see the Biden family arrested. You'll see Hillary Clinton arrested. Quite possibly Barack Obama. You'll start to see certain members of Congress, Chuck Schumer, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Nancy Pelosi. You'll start to see these people harassed by the law, if not flat out arrested and thrown in jail for no reason whatsoever. You'll start to see sham trials. And to my brothers and sisters out there who are veterans, I did not serve in the military. I did not. It is not, was not, is not, will never be in my makeup. I am simply not military material. In my eyes, that makes your service all the more special and all the more honored, because I sure as hell couldn't do it. I wouldn't have cut it. I am not military material. My father served for 37 years, my brother for 25. But not me. So to my brothers and sisters out there who are veterans, to my fellow Americans who are veterans, and many of the people that stormed the Capitol on January 6th were veterans. They were police and first responders and veterans. The Donald Trump that thinks you're all suckers and that you're stupid and that he doesn't understand the idea of patriotism and service and selflessness. The America that you fought for to keep free, to keep small d democracy in place, to keep the great American experiment going. You would have a dictator installed here? Installed. You would see an end to democracy, the very democracy that you fought and served to protect, the oath that you took to defend and protect the Constitution of the United States. I got that backward. To protect and defend and protect. To what's left of the middle class. How far do you have to fall before you realize that whatever you have left, they'll take from you? See, ultimately, this isn't about loving fascism. It's not about loving Trump. The billionaires have found a vessel. In the same way that they found Reagan, they have found Trump. If he can be powerful and get rich off it, he'll do whatever they want. Remember the fundraiser that he had at Mar-a-Lago with the oil executives and said, "Give me $1 billion for this campaign. I'll do whatever you want." That is the very definition of fascism. He openly solicited a bribe. Oh, but then again, with Citizens United and, well, the immunity clause wouldn't have, the immunity decision would not have actually applied here because it wouldn't have been an official action. He's not in office anymore. But I'm sure they would have justified it somehow. Let me catch a couple of your comments here. I've been very, very neglect in your comments. We go right back to the beginning. Donna says hello. Mike says everything's going well on Facebook. Lots of change. Randall, of course, is here. Let me see. George said good evening to everybody in the chat. Thank you for doing that, George, because for some reason, this new nightly show, I keep forgetting to welcome people. I'm very, very good with it on Sunday nights. I've forgotten to do it here. And I'm not sure why I forgot that. I think because there's so much going on, it's hard. And the hour, and the fact that it's an hour goes very quick. Mike and Donna are in. No, wait. Donna's in Missouri. Mike is in Mississippi. Gotcha. Wait, didn't you say? Randall says, buckle up. Here we go. It's funny. I'm not that. I mean, I'm fired up in an hour. I got really good energy for 60 minutes, but not. I wouldn't say that. Donna asked, like at the beginning of the hour, forgive me, Donna, for not seeing this, how do I invite a friend in? Not exactly sure what you mean by that. If you can explain it, I'll try to answer it. I would say from Facebook, if you take your friend's name, put it in the comments section and say at so-and-so. Let's just use Mike Smith. I'll just say Bob Smith. Your friend is Bob Smith. You would go in the comments right where you're commenting at ampersand at Bob Smith. The name kind of pops up and it looks blue. They get alerted from that your name was used in a comment. So that's how I would do that. Right, Donna says Southeast Missouri, third night here. Thank you so much, and that you watched it. Oh, I did read that one earlier. And thank you for watching The Villain's View. Now, just a quick little side note here. The Villain's View will no longer be on Sundays. Or wait, I think it might be on Sundays, but I think it's on here. It's on GCPR. It's not on Hot 101 anymore. He looks at the schedule. Wait, I downloaded the schedule. I actually have it on the screen that I can see. Sunday. Yeah, The Villain's View is still on Sunday nights. But it's here on GCPR Live. No longer on Hot 101. Keep that in mind. What is this? All except Facebook, LinkedIn. Oh, I can only get comments from Facebook. If anybody's listening on LinkedIn, they can't chat. That's a very strange thing, to be honest with you. Let me see. The website, www.gcpr.live. GCPR.live. Link is in the chat. Check out the website. Donna says, Mike Jackson's my husband. Well, how is he in Mississippi or Missouri? How's that work? Maybe that's why you're still married. Hopefully you found that funny. I thought I just entertained myself. Let me see. Oh, I did. I read Mike's comment before about a cult. Lots of. This is an interesting one from Randall. Ooh, how'd that work, George? Did that comment come up on the screen? That'd be really awesome if it did. That would be really freaking cool if it did. I wonder why the video is so behind on Facebook. That's interesting to me. What was I going to say? What was I going to say? I need a better video. I need better video. So what's interesting is I don't see this on my Facebook, even though it should be. It's interesting. I wonder why it's not there. Well, what I was trying to do is see if Randall's comment, which you've now had time to read as I play around again with the tech. The video's not on my feed where it should be. Not sure what's going on with that. Oh, because it didn't update. Oh, yeah, there it is. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, yeah, the comment is there. That's awesome. Okay, good. Good stuff. So, as you can see, Randall, a lot of my friends are not celebrating July 4th tomorrow because of the Supreme Corporation ruling on Monday. Supreme Corporation, good thing. Hashtag Supreme Corporation. Maybe we should start doing that. They feel the United States was murdered by creating a king going forward. I think we must remember. I respectfully think that we must remember that this is not a done deal. The election cycle does not end until all the polls close on November 5th. It does not. I keep getting all these weird alerts. I'm so sorry. So, we're not dead yet. We are bleeding. You've all heard the term, or the old saying, death by 1,000 paper cuts. The U.S. has a lot of paper cuts. She does. Our nation, wrong mouse, Jeff. Our nation has a lot of paper cuts. She is hurting. I wouldn't go so far. I gotta find where Mike says, "Are we married, Donna?" I think I'm fuzzy on a few years back there. So if I've been ignoring you all this time, that's fantastic. You guys are the best. You guys are the best. That's funny. She did say Mike's my husband. We're gonna have to figure this out. We're gonna have a Jerry Springer episode and figure all this out. Anyway, Mike says in the chat as well, the thing that is the dumb cult wants to see Dems arrested. Hooray, they will cry. They don't care about Project 2025 stuff. As long as there's pundits telling them it's great. The thing is, though, that it will all go back. Absolutely. Oh, very interesting thing I saw today on Facebook. Oh, God, I'm forgetting the name of the senator. Was it Imhoff? I think it's Jim Imhoff of Oklahoma, who was a COVID denier. He now has to retire from the Senate because he's suffering from long COVID. You can't make it up. What else am I missing? God, that's funny. Gosh. I keep hearing what sounds like Federation Starship. Yes. No, I play them in the background. It helps with the little bits of air time where I'm not speaking, where my brain is frozen and I'm not saying anything. It keeps a little noise on the air. Oh gosh. What was I going to say? Oh, I want to do this really quick. I know that we're pretty much at the end of the hour here, but I can't say that all of this is original. I knew all of this, and I don't say that to say, wow, look how smart I am. Because if I knew how to arrange these thoughts better, I would have done it before now. But it took, again, I must give credit to the master, Tom Hartman, who did an opening of his program, I think a couple weeks ago now, on the difference between a movement and a cult. And it goes something like this. So I'm paraphrasing this number one biggest progressive talk show host in the country. I will always give credit to people. If it's not my original thought, I'm giving the credit where it's deserved. So this definitely came from Mr. Hartman. I don't think he said anything that I didn't know, but he certainly knew how to arrange the argument and the explanation infinitely better than I do. So that part of it I'm stealing. He's not telling me anything I didn't know. He just knows how to say it a hell of a lot better than me. Oh, blimey, that didn't dissolve. Ah! Kristen brought me some liquid IV, which is a powder. It didn't dissolve very much in the cold water. So what's the difference between a cult and a movement? There's a couple things. And I'll forget some of it. But for me, it really comes down to two big differences. Maybe three. Yeah, three. I'll say three. Movements have a set of principles and goals. Movements are generally created with and because of those principles and goals. The civil rights movement, the women's suffrage movement, the anti-war movement of the 60s, the abolitionist movement prior to the Civil War. These are movements. Hell, since we've been talking about it so much, the independence movement of the 1760s and 70s and 80s. These are movements. These are coalescing sorts of principles and guidance, if you will, that bring people together around a single cause or set of causes. Cults have none of that. Remember, the former political party knows the Republicans. has no official party platform. And they have not had one since 2020, when the platform committee of the Republican National Committee met and said, we don't need to have a platform, just whatever Trump says in any given day. That will be our platform, whatever he wants. So there's one big difference. Movements have a set of principles and goals, usually begun or based in activism, which then moves into the political arena for the activism to see the goals and policy solutions implemented. Cults have neither. They don't have platform, they have no goals, they do not have principles, they don't have any of that. Movements generally have a diverse and spread out set of leadership. In 2016, the Bernie Sanders presidential campaign was a movement. To a lesser extent, his 2020 campaign, I would argue to a much lesser extent. I actually think his involvement in that campaign cost Elizabeth Warren the presidential nomination, but that's a different topic for a different day. And I'm a huge Bernie fan. Bernie has done more for this country than people ever realize. That's a different topic for a different day. Movements usually have a diverse and layered leadership structure. It is not ever centered around one person. And if that one person were to step away from the movement, have a change of opinion, pass away, become ill, whatever, the movement, from its principles, political aims, and the other people that are in the leadership can keep the movement going. And even some movements stop when their goals are reached. Cults usually come down to one person. Trump, Charlie Manson, Mussolini, Hitler, Jim Jones, David Koresh, the Reverend, I just kind of always call him that, so it kind of comes off the tongue. Sung Young Moon, the Moonies. Cults are based in one person. And whatever goals that the cult might think it has for itself, or that the cult leader gives to the followers as a justification for being in the cult, are never met. We're always this close. Oh, doomsday's coming on this day. Well, it didn't come. Oh, sorry, my math was wrong. I read the calendar wrong. It's really on this day. And then that decay comes and nothing happens. Oh, gosh, I'm so sorry. We were this close. Cults never reach an end. Only when the cult figure goes away. Be it prison, death, run away and hide from the authorities, whatever it might be. When the cult leader disappears, the cult following falls away. Right? So there's two of the big ones. Principles, goals, none of the above. A diverse group of leadership, one leader. These are the big differences between cults and movements. Movements tend to encourage positive change. Cults are for the benefit of whomever that cult leader is. Remember what Bernie Sanders said when he was running for president. I have the Our Revolution t-shirt, that I wear around the house. I've worn it on the program before. Not me, us. Bernie Sanders' 2 presidential campaigns were all built around not me. And you could hear him say this in his speeches. This is not about me, folks. I might be the candidate, but this is not about me. When you vote for me, vote for yourselves. This is about us. Together, as a nation. Trump, it's all about me. I'm persecuted. I am your retribution. I am your revenge. Only I can solve it. Everything is awful with everybody else. It's great because of me. Me, 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 me. Movements, us, us, us. Cults, me, me, me. Movements, we all succeed together. Cults, you'll get yours after I get mine. There's a significant difference between movements and cults. What we need now to literally save democracy is a movement to save democracy. And guess what, folks? Until something changes, that means voting for every Democrat you can find, even the more conservative ones, all the way to the progressives. And it means, until there's a change at the top, trying to re-elect President Biden. Now, if that changes, we have an open convention, we come out with a different nominee, then so be it. But that's the movement that we have to create and follow now. It has to be a save democracy movement. Not make America great again. It's funny how Trump uses make America great again, which again came straight from Germany in the 30s, which was make Germany great. It's not about make America great again. How can Trump use a phrase like make America great again when all he does is tell you everything that's wrong with it? And I hate this, and they make fun of us for this, they're laughing at us for this. How do you run for the most powerful position in the country when you hate 3/4 of the people that live here? So we have to now be a movement. It's the Save Democracy movement. And young voters, first-time voters, who wish they were voting for anybody other than an 81-year-old man. I suggest you vote for the 81-year-old man, or you might never get the chance to vote again. Maybe you're in the New York district, Jamal Bowman's district, and you're not happy that the American Israeli Political Action Committee spent $15 million, the most expensive U.S. House party primary in history, $25 million plus, to get Jamal Bowman kicked out of the House with a corporate Democrat. Maybe you're not happy about that. I'll still take the corporate Democrat over any Republican. It's called pragmatism. Perhaps one of these programs will have to spend some time on pragmatism. But we now need a movement. This is the big story of the day. And it might not be the story that you hear a lot about. I know Joy Reid did a piece on it. I didn't get to see if anybody else did. Find the article. I should put a link to it in the chat if I could find the link. Or just share the story. That would be smart if I just shared the story. It's almost like I know what I'm doing sometimes. I mean, don't tell anybody. It's almost like I know what I'm doing sometimes. I will put this on our Facebook page for you to read. George has to go. Thank you, George. Thank you. We'll be signing off very soon. I'll talk to George. If I don't talk to you before, sir, I'll talk to you Saturday. Let me put this on the Facebook page real quick while I'm thinking of it. So, there we go. The article's at that other side of information. I hope that you'll read it. So let me take a couple of last minutes here. We're supposed to be done at 9. There's no one on GCPR after us. So I'm taking a little liberty of a few extra minutes. But I want to finish up at 9:15 because I'm exhausted and I have to work tomorrow. We don't do holidays in this country anymore. Every day's a work day. When you're poor, every day's a work day. I wouldn't exactly say Kristen and I are poor, but we're not doing great. It's amazing that two people can earn more than 6 figures. I'm not telling you exactly what we earn. It's none of your business, to be honest. But I am telling you it's more than 6 figures, and to still struggle this badly. And that's 40 plus years of Reaganism right there. But let me take a couple extra minutes just to say the following. So this has been, well, it doesn't end, right? T. Nathan is on from you'll be hearing and seeing T. Nathan from 11 p.m. here on GCPR. For me, my broadcast week is done. I will not be with you on the 4th of July tomorrow night, and Friday is Friday. We're going to take I believe Sergeant Mack is doing the same thing. I don't think he's on tomorrow or Friday. But it's time for us here at GCPR to regroup a little bit, see what's working well, see what we still need to fix, things like that. I will be with you Sunday evening from 6 p.m. as I usually am. I do not know. I think I have guests, but I'm not sure who they are. Well, I know who they are. I didn't say that well, did I? I think we're having guests. I'm not 100% that they're coming yet, but I believe we have guests lined up. So I'll keep an eye on our Facebook page for the show announcement and promotional things, and look for that. So I do want to wish you all a very, very happy 4th of July, but also I hope that it is a reflective 4th of July. I hope that the weight, and I mean weight, of the significance of Independence Day will be first and foremost in your brain as you do whatever it is that you're doing tomorrow, that you will have the opportunity to step back and think, look around if you're at a picnic, a pool, the shore, a beach, a lake, or if you're just sitting home watching baseball or sleeping in late from work, whatever it is that you might do on this national holiday, that you will be able to step back and say, I want to be part of the movement that makes sure that this is not our last Independence Day. Kochs, the Heritage Foundation, Trump, his cult followers, they're not interested in improving this nation. If everything that they want to see happen is put into place, it will be the end of this nation. We're better than this. We're smarter than this, America. We are. So I hope that no matter what you're doing tomorrow, that you will stop, you will think about the significance of Independence Day, and make a very conscious decision that you will not allow this great experiment to end. And that everything that those who have come before us will not be laid waste. The veterans who died for this country, the ones who sacrificed their mental health, their bodies, their families to serve, defend, and protect, that their sacrifices are not in vain. And yes, I'm setting up my work computer. Not terribly professional of me. Probably could have waited till I was done. But God willing, I will get into bed so quick. But just think about it as you're doing whatever it is that you're doing tomorrow. And I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you have a relaxing, fun, whatever it is that you're doing. I hope it's a wonderful, wonderful day. Truly, I do. I do not mean to, I'm not planning, I'm not trying to ruin your 4th of July. But I do hope that you will take some time tomorrow to think about to give some license to the thought that, will this be our last Independence Day? Will Trump turn his own, birthday into some sort of holiday, like you do in these foreign dictatorships, in these third world countries? Will this election be the last? So really, for everybody here, I know it's a very odd time to stop, but I need to stop or I'm going to sit here way too long. I just want to ask you one last thing, not just that heavy, heavy, heavy thought, but as I did for our Sunday show since the beginning, here at GCPR, I want to ask you for that favor, for this particular favor as well, just as I did with our Sunday shows. Please share the program. Please go to the website, check it out, share the website, share the link, go to our social media, check us out, like, subscribe, share it, put it on Facebook groups that you're a member of, that maybe I am not. We depend on you to help get the word out about this brand new radio adventure. We want you to not just be along for the ride, we want you to be in the car with us. We want you to help steer the ship. So please consider doing that for us if you would be so kind. Find GCPR everywhere that you can think of. Twitter, and I'm still calling it Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, TikTok. I don't think I forgot anything. That's the biggies. LinkedIn. I don't think I forgot anything. Just search GCPR. Find us, like, subscribe, share, join. We would be very appreciative for your support as this new grand radio adventure begins. So glad that you have been here this week. The GCPR broadcast day is not done. T. Nathan comes your way at 11 p.m., about an hour and a half from now. So, like I said, walk the dog, get some cookies and milk, check out the scores from the ball games, whatever it is that you need to do, and then 11 p.m., come right back here for T. Nathan at 11 p.m. For everybody at GCPR, for Thomas McCormick, for Gambert, Gilbert, Pastor Bess, T. Nathan, for Ben, Brett, I think I got everybody. Bob Kosh, for everybody at GCPR, for Lynn and George Dare, for Kristen, Daisy the dog, and Guy the cat downstairs. I'm Jeff Kennedy. We've done all the damage we can do for one night. Have a great 4th of July. Our weeknight program returns on Monday the 8th. Our Sunday program this coming Sunday from 6 p.m. We hope you'll be there for all of it. Again, please like, subscribe, share all of it. Grow the word about GCPR Radio. We want you to be a part of it. Have a great, great holiday. Think about what I said. Please be part of the movement to save democracy. And may it start tomorrow. Happy 4th of July. And we'll see you Sunday evening from 6 and Monday evening from 8. Thank you so very much. We've done all the damage we can do. That's it for us. Please take care of yourselves and each other. T. Nathan from 11 p.m. We'll see you Sunday. We'll see you Monday.